Tamar Smith.
I am Deshaun Taylor, better known as Woo Baby, H-Dog Spring 09, the Rack and Roll Number. You hurt.
Yeah, I mean, Charlotte, North Carolina.
James Frazier, Dr. James Frazier.
Travis Day. First memories of dwele. I don't know, just he always joking. You know what I'm saying? So he always had to have jokes because he had a big head. So so people would joke on him, and then he was a preppy little dude. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day. Yeah, that's one of the first memories that he's always, you know what I'm saying, throwing jokes on people.
Met dwele spring 2008 at University of Kentucky. He pulled me to the side. We had a good conversation, a really good conversation.
I'm probably not gonna go into the memories because I've always seen dwele as just like the leader of Omega Psi Phi on University of Kentucky. The first time I met him, it was just very like kind of cold shoulders. He had to keep a persona because I was a pledgee or whatever. But after getting to know him, you know, he just seemed like he was kind of the leader and I guess the heartbeat of our chapter. So that's kind of what I always seen him as. It's kind of like that patriarch figure for the Rolanda chapter. Just through Maurice and the people who were closer to my age that were just my pro fights and stuff like that, they always looked up to him and went to him. So I just seen him as sort of that glue, that patriarch figure.
We met at Black Achievers many years ago at the Chestnut Street YMCA about 89. You know what though, there was one common theme at Black Achievers. There was this one little girl, she was the daughter of one of the cluster leaders, and she used to hang with me and dwele, both. Even though we was in different clusters, she always would find us. That was the one like common bond we had. Jeannie, she just came to visit earlier this morning. There was this club on, it's called Blinkers, and then there was this other club on 4th Street, and everybody used to go there and gangsta walk. So it used to be like gangsta walk competitions, and dwele always tried to beat me, but that didn't happen.
You beat dwele?
Of course.
I say what's up, they say everything's live. So we round up the money and get some room. Cause later on tonight, we got a show to do. So I sit back, relax and kill the 40, halfway drunk. And my
is funny that I can tell. Let me see. Well, actually, last Thursday when we was up here, he talking and giving Rockwilder the blues. He was just calling Rockwilder cat. Going in depth, and then the nurse had gave him some medicine for him to go to sleep, help him sleep. So he was just all over the place with this medicine. So, but he was just giving Rockwilder the blues. He was on the group chat. Yeah, bitch. So.
I mean, it's just so many trips. Like, I mean, with Tamar and Dwele, when we went for their 20th anniversary to Vegas, Tamar passed out. You know, we was throwing cherries on his face. He passed out in the club, and he had chicks all around him, and he had cherries sitting all on his face. I won't tell the story about Rudy at Clave. Dwele, I know you know about that story. No, Rudy. But yeah, so it's just so many stories just over the years. You know, we just sat and talk about each individual trip. Oh, the Dong, when we went to, where did we go? I think it was Carolina somewhere. But I had a GPS, and every time he was speeding, it would dong, it would ding or whatever. So that was something we always had. And then, of course, every time we traveled on Sunday, Dwele, we would play church music. And as soon as like 12 noon hit, you know, he'll start cussing at somebody on the road. I'm like, dog, in the middle of gospel timing? Like, we on the road on Sunday. You know, we got church going on. Like, F you, whatever. Dog, my bad, dog. So, you know, just stuff like that. He's a hilarious individual, as we all know. So it's so many knee-jerk moments that, you know, we have. But, yeah.
Well, I don't know if I can really say this on camera, you know, because...
I guess it was instant, I guess. You know what I'm saying? He's always been a lovable person, likable person. He type of guy don't have any enemies or anything. I've never known anybody to say anything bad about Dwele. So yeah, he's just from the very beginning of us knowing each other that he's been loved.
I would say the day that I knew I was gonna love him for life would be June 27, 2008. He knows what that date is.
It was probably after I pledged, so it was probably somewhere 2006, 2007-ish. Dwele called me one day, and I remember it was we were getting ready to go to Clave, and he was just like, "Man, you ain't been around, you ain't done this with the Qs," and I'm just like, "All right." I mean, I didn't really know how to be a Q, so you know, it's after you pledge, you have to go to those sessions, but then afterwards, it's not like here's what you have to do. And he called me. We had a real candid conversation. I was just like, okay, you know, this dude cares. It wasn't just about that initial pledge process. This is like he cares about this, about Omega Psi Phi. He cares about the people who are involved, and he cares about, you know, the person genuinely. So that was when I was just like, you know what? Okay, cool. Like, he had a bad rap because he has a lot of tough love, but it's real love, and it's things that you need to hear. But at the same time, you know, a lot of people don't want to hear that. So I could appreciate that because that was how I was raised with my parents and all my friends and things of that nature. We were always very candid. So I appreciated that. And that was when I was like, you know what, this is a sign that this man really cares about me, and he cares about the people who he surrounds himself with.
That's going to be sometime between 91 and 92. Not necessarily when we crossed, but probably when we were going through the same thing and we knew we'd always be there for each other. So sometime in that 91 era when we were freshmen in college, we knew.
Everything. I mean, from a leader standpoint, just how to lead, how to take control, to being tenacious with everything you do. As a mentor, you know, really willing to give back. You know, him being coach, I picked up a lot of things from that as far as giving back to the youth. So it was definitely important to be a role model and to be outstanding in everything you do.
A lot. Like, I didn't really have a brother. I had a sister growing up. She was older, but she's my half sister. So we didn't really like live in the same household all the time. So I didn't really have that, older brother figure. Just everything, just the love that you give, how you interact with the people that you are around, and how you care for somebody. It doesn't have to be you see him every day, you talk to him every day, but he genuinely cared about me, and that's what the brotherhood was about. It was just always showing love and putting someone before yourself. Just everything that he's always done for me, just the trips that we've went on, just the heart-to-hearts that we've had, the advice that he's given me on different situations, just life advice, not just stuff pertaining to the fraternity, because it seems like that's what everybody groups us as, but we're friends before all of this now. This was a byproduct of how we got to that level, but at this point, this is the purple and gold, and everything else is irrelevant, because I genuinely love that guy, and he genuinely loves me, through my trials and tribulations, through pharmacy school, relationship problems, things of that nature. So that's just what he showed me about being an older brother. I could always go to him about different things.
Man, really, he almost, dwele is nothing but 10 years older than me. That's how I keep up with his age, because he's 42, right? Mm-hmm. So, and I'm 32. So dwele has taught me a whole lot about, being in contact with, just because you join a fraternity don't mean that you just, you join and you kind of lag off. He's always consistently, giving me a call, checking up on me, and that I've kind of parallel that to doing the same thing as far as what he does, trying to follow his footsteps.
His enthusiasm for life. He loves to live. He loves to make people smile. He loves to be around good energy. And, that tenacity with that enthusiasm for life, he's going to get through it. It's in his blood. It's in him.
If you don't beat this, you can't. That's what he would say. So if you don't beat this, you can't.
Dwele is just a survivor, just everything that he's been through with just with school, just growing up with his father, the examples that he has with his mother, being a strong woman, his brothers, and all the struggles that he's had to deal with, just being an older brother and things of that nature. And his sister, I was gonna get there. But just everything, and he's always, he has those family values, and he lives for more than himself. And of course now with Tu and Aaliyah, so just everything, he's living for something more. You can tell that, he's living for us, he's living for you, he's living for his mother, his sisters, his brother, everybody, friends, family, and that's why I think that he's gonna make it, just because it's so much beyond himself now. He had his years and teenager years and 20s and stuff like that, and 30s to live for himself, but now he's living for so much more, and you can tell that by the way he genuinely cares about people.
Oh yeah, because one, we've already seen him overcome it before. Those 50 plus days in the hospital, he snapped back with no problem, and then I used to stand beside him when we were pledging, so there was nothing we couldn't fight or face together. And of course, his faith in God, he knows he can overcome anything. So those are the three things I know why it's going to happen.
Nothing much. I love you. Keep fighting. I know you're gonna keep fighting. That's without even having to say that. And we're here for you no matter what. And keep the faith.
Dwele is the ideal of Omega Psi Phi and what the fraternity stands for, and that is the honest God truth.
I love you, dog. I'm glad I could be down here, and I'll be, glad to see you pull through it, bro. Love you, dog.
Man, dwele, stay strong, bro. We here for you. And my mom and dad, they said they praying for you. She said that she wants you to pull through this so she can see you at Oak Grove again. She said she's gonna be there the first time you back on that Sunday. So, just hang in there, man. And we love you. We here for you. We always gonna be here for you, man. So stay strong, bro.
I love you.
All right, James. I see you, Dean. Oh, fine.